Welcome to the Late Night Race Review. Are Red Bull completely gone? Should McLaren fire Oscar Piastri? Lewis Hamilton, a good driver or just lucky? And is George Russell a big twat? Well, the last one's actually true. That's true. It's the Italian GP. As always, we wrap things up with a look at our predictions game. And don't forget to support the podcast by hitting those like, follow and subscribe buttons. Welcome back to the Late Night Race Review. I'm Owen Scott, and with me as always is Dave Jericho and the Scandinavian steed, Isidro Gonçalves. Quick confession, lads. I didn't see the race at all. I don't have a clue what's going on. So questions today will be the likes of what the fuck is a colapinto? Where is the USA representative on the F1 grid? And what the hell is Charles Leclerc doing at number one?
They are good questions.
Thank you. Okay. So let's kick it off, Dave. From the very, very top, you're going to both be filling me in this week as to what was going on. Yep. Charles Leclerc, paint that picture for me, please.
All right, let's I mean, like, everybody had to have been surprised with this. I was anyway. Well, actually, hang on a second. I say everybody, but I'm now having flashbacks of Isidro's predictions from last week. So maybe not all of us were completely shocked that Ferrari were going to do well here, or have some sort of a result. But I was shocked, so everyone else be shocked with me. Yeah, I don't know. They had, do you know what? They had a great strategy. I could easily say that McLaren maybe threw it away a little bit, but I just think, yeah, they went with that one-stop strategy, and it for Charles, and it worked like unbelievably powerful. Like, I mean, I know he was going to be up against it over the last couple of laps, but I mean, I think he had about a 4-second buffer by the time the race was over. But, yeah, I just think it was a great strategy from Ferrari. The only thing I'd have a bit of a sour taste about, even though Charles won, and it's great, it's always good to see a Ferrari win at Monza, they're becoming a bit of a one-trick... Well, I know they didn't win here last time, but they just seem to put all their eggs in this basket or something like that. They're just like... They're just dog shit or inconsistent for most of the season, and then it's just like... everything possible on Monza. And that's it. Like, you're like, guys, you need to worry about the rest of the season as well. But yeah, it was a great race. It was a great race from them. Yeah. So give me the breakdown exactly, Isidro. What happened here? Ferrari, did they go one stop? Did they pull an Albon and go all of the laps of the race bar one on the same tire and then change on the last lap? Or what happened?
It's funny that now everyone said it was an excellent strategy from Ferrari. But if it was worse and Leclerc would just get his tires gave up 2 laps before,
yeah,
everyone would blame, Ferrari's shit, that strategy.
Another clown show from the strategist. Yeah.
So was this luck?
A little bit, because when they pit Leclerc, even Leclerc was pissed about why he was stopping at that point in the race. That would probably mess up everything. But apparently that worked quite well, and he was able to manage the tires all the way to the end of the race. And I have to say, Sainz did help a little bit. He delayed the McLarens as long as he could. And again, his tire was also giving out. But overall, I think the Ferrari strategy of one race, of one stop, it truly paid out. And
no. Correction, you were right the first time. Their strategy of one race.
So we have a McLaren sandwich, Leclerc and Sainz 1 and 4, and as you mentioned there, a little bit of teamwork. McLaren, was there teamwork on display here, Dave? And are the reports to be believed that I'm seeing that Lando Norris is not too pleased with his teammate?
I think it's nothing to do with Piastri. I think it's to do with the team. Like, the team should have realized that Lando is, like, realistically, if they want to be, they should fairly be confident at the moment that the constructor's title is going to come their way. Like, I mean, I know nothing's set in stone, but you have to be somewhat confident in it at the moment. And when that confidence is there, it's like a football team competing for Premier League champions. You're competing on all fronts. So McLaren should be sort of doing the same now. They've sort of got themselves in a very comfortable position in the constructors and a suitable car to compete. And now I think it's time that they should have maybe put the eggs in one basket in terms of the driver championship as well. And they haven't. They're just letting them sort of duke it out a bit on track, which is great. And it's great for a neutral fan who doesn't care if a McLaren wins or not, or which McLaren wins. But Lando realistically is the only one that can do that. And today, now I don't think they probably would have won. I think, again, I still think Ferrari, look, whether Lando would have stretched a bit of a lead at the start, I don't know. Like that's going to be big ifs, ands, and buts. I think possibly Ferrari with that one stop might have still done it for them. But anyway, point is, and I'm rambling on, I know, but the point is that Lando is probably the only one that's going to challenge. And today, having Max Verstappen finish 6th, they're the type of races that we were thinking, like, 'cause we were talking last week saying, if Lando wins every race and gets fastest lap, and Verstappen finishes second, or sorry, not every lap, every race, and Verstappen finishes second, then Lando Norris can win the championship by 1 point or 2 points, whatever it was. That was the fine margins. But if Verstappen messes up or Red Bull mess up, then all of a sudden those fine margins aren't there, and you're really in with a shout. And to be in with a shout, you have to back a driver to go that distance, and they're not. And this is the point. Like Verstappen there, this was that moment to start capitalizing on these mistakes from Verstappen and Red Bull, and they're not. They let them duke it out, and Piastri, fair play to him. Like he's just like, I'm as good a driver as he is, and I don't give a bollocks. I'm going to go for it. And that's what they've been told that they can do. So I think it's McLaren that need to step up and realize, we might have fucking screwed the pooch a bit on this one, and we should have backed Lando so we could take constructors and the driver's title.
Yeah. If you're Lando Norris, Isidro, are you royally pissed that your team aren't backing you after being there for years? This newbie comes in and you're not getting the backing. You're the only one, as Dave says, in the position to actually make a jump at the drivers' championship, and they're not backing him.
No, and I can understand Lando's position on this, and we could see in the cool down room how everything was very quiet. Lando and Piastri were just not talking, and I think Lando is a bit pissed that McLaren doesn't give straight orders, say, look, Lando is the one who needs backup, and Piastri just should do everything he can to protect him, like he did on the first turn, that he protect. Russell was just coming in, and Piastri just put himself in that position, forcing Russell to go out on the chicane. That was a good teamwork. But after that, as soon as possible, Piastri just start racing Norris on orders. McLaren say, do whatever you want. And McLaren knows that the constructor title is guaranteed. I'm pretty sure of that, because even if Max now starts going first, they know Paris will never catch up. So they have two drivers consistently doing points. So the constructors championship, I would say it's guaranteed for McLaren the way things are at the moment. The drivers championship, I think Lando needs a bit more of backup from the team. They need to say, look, you are the guy that will win us the drivers championship, so we'll back you up. Piastri will have his chance next year or in 2 years' time, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So Piastri, McLaren really needs to realize they are in the game for the constructor championship and driver championship, not just one or the other.
Yeah, Dave, go on.
Especially when you've got a driver like Lando Norris who committed his future to McLaren when they were fucking at the back of the fucking grid doing nothing, like, and he rolled the dice with them and believed that what they could do. So he signed a long-term contract that everyone was saying was mad. Do you remember? We were all like, why is this young potential world champion signed what was it, like a 7-year contract or something mental, or 5-year contract, whatever it was, but a really long-term contract with a team that isn't guaranteed to win a world title. So he took the risk on them and committed his future to them. And now he was in a position to capitalize on mistakes from Red Bull and possibly have a chance to win World Championship. And they've just gone, oh no, they're free to race. And you're like, I'd be like, fuck you, like.
Yeah, Cedro.
And if we remember the Hungary Grand Prix where they gave instructions to Norris to let Piastri win,
That's right, yeah.
that should just
That's a
be
killer.
in their mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just 2 GPs ago they're saying let Piastri go and he have his win. So that mentality needs to change.
I mean, that's another 7 points in the driver's stand. I mean, that's what they're 62 apart. So they'd have been 55 apart now going into Baku. Like all of those things, like this, like look at Red Bull when they had, Perez was the backup, with the supporting driver for Hamilton, Rosberg. I know Rosberg won a world championship, but Rosberg, Bottas, George Russell, they were supporting drivers for Lewis Hamilton. We could go through every team on the grid and clearly define a 1-2. I know Ferrari, it was a bit up in the air, but I mean, largely, I think we all knew Leclerc was going to be the number one driver there. And McLaren, in this instance, needed to do the same. They should have backed the driver all season. Once they knew they had potential there to challenge, back a driver and back the one who committed to you way before Piastri came on the scene and backed and committed to you when you were absolute fucking horseshit. Like, so... Yeah, I'd be raging. Like if I was him, I'd be kind of going, you know what? Fucking, I'm gonna win a world championship with these guys, and then I am looking elsewhere.
Yeah,
like fuck yous, like.
Are McLaren a little bit of they're a victim of their own kind of ambition in that they brought in Piastri in dubious enough circumstances. They pipped Alpine to the post and they made a big bid on this guy and they brought him in. They took a chance, and now they're in the position where they've got two pretty great drivers, similar to what you say the Ferrari of last year. They were a victim of they couldn't just decide really. They were kind of to and fro a little bit between Sainz. So McLaren, would it be more in their favor to have kind of gone, okay, well we'll maybe keep Ricciardo. He's not the same level as Norris, and have a clear 1-2 and not this evil or even pairing.
No, I think it's great. Like, I mean, I think a good example is Rosberg and Hamilton. Like they those two were at it. Now, I'll be honest, I think Rosberg won that world championship purely down to the reliability issues that Hamilton suffered that season. I think had he not have had those, he would have won anyway. But that was a pairing where those two, like Rosberg, I mean, even Rosberg now, like he's not backing down to anybody. Like, so Piastri is sort of, it's that same dynamic that they've gotten. It may start out all friendly, like, but once you're fighting for world championships, that turn, like Rosberg and Hamilton were all friendly, but once the world championship was on the line, it turned sour and toxic, like rapid quick, like really, really fast. Like, I mean, you only have to look at Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel, like the whole, the shit that went on with that. Like, it turns sour so fast. But McLaren need to manage that. They need to, and they should have seen as the season has been unfolding, we've been watching it, kind of going, oh, look at the upgrades McLaren have brought. Look at them getting quicker. Lando Norris clearly was the fastest driver and probably still is by a margin, and only a margin. But they should have seen as the season went on that it was Lando that they should have backed, not just from the performances that were coming out on track, but also from a loyalty standpoint. They should have just stood behind him, even if it was only for this season, and they went, okay, we should have gone with Piastri. Maybe it didn't work out, but purely just from a loyalty and a development standpoint, you were going to lose nothing and gain a lot by backing him. And all you've done now, I'd say, is create friction now within that team. And I'd say as the season goes on, that could get worse if they don't pick Lando Norris. And, sorry, last thing on this rant, if they do pick Lando Norris now and they do back him and Red Bull start making shapes and it becomes a 1-2 finish between Lando and Red Bull, and he misses out by a couple of points, I mean, that is going to turn sour so fast. Can you imagine you've lost the world championship because your team didn't back you, or because they went with team orders and let the rookie that just came in take the win instead of, oh, fuck, I'd be raging. Yeah. I am raging, and I'm not even with fucking McLaren.
Yeah, you would be. But the one thing for sure is that we look back on last season, and whatever happens this season, it's been a hell of a lot better than what we got last year. Looking down to the grid, lads, we have two Mercedes sitting in fifth and sixth. George Russell, what was he doing on the opening corner there? What was he up to? He got pushed out by Piastri, am I right?
Well, he didn't get pushed out. I think just Piastri came out wide and George Russell didn't expect it. So I had to either hit the brakes hard and go into the back of him or just kind of try and swerve and go around him and go through the sort of the off ramp on the chicane. But yeah, it's I don't know. The Mercedes just weren't there. I don't know. They were just kind of, but this was the same as the Red Bulls. Both Red Bulls and Mercedes, I think, were just they just didn't have anything to offer. I think today, like they were just the best of the rest, and that was the end of it.
It's so nothing really happened for Mercedes. That just kind of stuck around that fifth, sixth area for the race.
I'm trying to think. Isidro, was there anything memorable that happened with the Mercedes other than obviously George Russell? I mean, there was a few overtakes and stuff like that, obviously after pit stops and before and stuff like that. The usual kind of jockeying around, but largely there's nothing that I would be writing home about as for their weekend. Like they turned up. I think they did bring a couple of small upgrades or something like that this weekend. I can't quite remember. But yeah, largely. I mean, look, where did they finish? They finished fifth and seventh, and what did they start? Sixth and hang on a second. Jesus, where did Russell start?
Third. Russell was in third place. P3 and P6.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just checking here now. So
that crash impacted.
That was
greatly.
That was of course that was the Piastri incident. Then going off the chicane, and then he dropped. And then as he tried to give that place back, he ended up giving Sainz and Hamilton or something. I think Hamilton as well.
Verstappen maybe came through, did he?
I'm trying to think, but he gave up a lot of places anyway. And then the pit stops, the two stop strategy, it just wasn't strong enough. And look, as we found out with Ferrari, the one stop. I'm not saying it was powerful, but it was definitely a gamble. But it was the right strategy. But that's with hindsight. We can look back and say it was clearly the right strategy. But yeah. But yeah, sorry. To answer your question, there wasn't too much to write home about. Isidro, what do you think?
Yeah, it was the same. I think overall, I think Russell was a bit more penalized because he had to stop. He had the problem in the wing and then the tires, but to be fair, at the point he was in 19 after all those speeds, and he still managed to finish on points. So that's something. But overall, I don't think Mercedes was. I think, well, from a qualification perspective, they were the third best, and Red Bull being the fourth from the top teams. But overall, I think Mercedes was just average this weekend.
Well, how did he? Because I thought he initially damaged his wing with that incident with Piastri, but he didn't actually clip him there. Where did he damage that wing? I missed where that happened.
I think it was on the chicane that he damaged a little bit. Not much, but there was something there.
What, he hit like some of the no, because he didn't hit any of the boardings or anything like that as he went through. So he went straight around Piastri, didn't clip him or anything like that, because it was the left front anyway that was damaged.
So did he clip a wall or something on the outside of
I don't know. I didn't see where that happened. Like I saw when Perez was behind him, and there was the little thing. Was it the front right or the front left?
Front right.
Okay, so it could have happened. He could have just nicked Piastri. Did he then into that chicane? Because I know straight away it wasn't far long after that. Then Perez was behind him, complaining that there was a piece kind of flapping off the front, and he was obviously doing the "it's dangerous, get him out my way" kind of thing.
Without a bit of googling, I don't think we can answer this question.
No,
we're going around in a circle trying to find an answer from people who don't have the answer.
Something happened to his wing, and he made some stuff. No, but Zidro's right though. In fairness to him, let's give him credit. He did have those issues throughout the race and still managed to get some points out of it. So,
quick little look to Max and Red Bull. Helmut Marko speaking to De Telegraph on Saturday, saying that Max has recognized where the weakness on the car is. Together with the engineers, a decision was made on how to improve the car and make it competitive again. We just need to find which part made the car worse. If we knew that, we wouldn't be in this situation. So they're saying that they have found the problem with this F1 car, apparently.
Oh, like, is it just me, or does this sound like the Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes scenario? Like,
Yeah.
there's one thing the driver saying, I know what's wrong with the car. It's another thing getting your engineers to actually do something about it, like, or
Yeah.
know what to do about it.
Well, they have 2 weeks here to try and work on it and get things right for Azerbaijan. But like again, Verstappen just looking like he has nothing out on the track.
But you have to remember, Baku's going to be, Azerbaijan's going to be pure before, straight line speed. Like, I know there is some twisty bits and stuff, but largely it's long straights and right angles, like, is Baku, like, and obviously we have the longest, I think it's the longest straight on the calendar at Baku. So I think not Red Bull, McLaren have that straight line speed and abundance. I think that's their
This
race
is a street circuit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's Red Bull's to lose. Like,
So are we?
oh, sorry, McLaren's to lose. No.
Yeah. Are we possibly looking at maybe Perez loves street circuits and he loves Baku? Is there a resurgence, Isidro? Are we going to see it this weekend? Perez is back.
We're going to see Perez, but probably on the P8 or P7 position.
We'll see him at some stage, but it won't be at the front of the grid.
Whenever the race
never.
director.
Unless McLaren, Mercedes, DNF, Ferrari has a bad day, maybe we see Perez on a good day. Maybe.
Yeah.
Even that, I'm not sure.
It's a shit show from Perez, isn't it? P8 finish. Just nothing happening. Damp squib time.
How is he still there?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Why would you not just run a gamble on a fucking another driver, an academy driver or something?
He must be just so nice, I would say, is what it is. They get him in person, they think about it, they build up the courage, like, yes, we're going to fire him this week, we'll fire him this week. And then he arrives in and they start talking to him like, he's fucking sound, isn't he, like, in fairness.
Yeah.
Just keep him for another race or two.
Look at Williams. They decided just fire Logan, get Colapinto, and he did well this weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
Red Bull could do the same.
But do you remember, like, Alex Albon? Like, do you remember the crash that, like, Alex Albon was third, I think, in the. I can't remember what race it was. Was it Spain? I'm trying to think. And it was Hamilton, I think, that ran him off.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
right,
and he spun out. And it was after that Red Bull let him go, I think. I could be remembering the sequence wrong, but it was. I mean, he had a few mistakes that were his own issue, like, but he was starting to grow into the car, and then obviously he had the crash with Hamilton Hamilton ran him off the track, that scuppered his chances. I don't know where, I can't remember. He was at the top. He was up around the podium places anyway. My memory's not good at the best of times. Never mind thinking back that far. But my point is, like, Albon they scrapped. Danny Kvyat they scrapped. Who else did they scrap? Daniel Ricciardo they scrapped. Now Daniel Ricciardo was there maybe a bit longer. No, Daniel Ricciardo left on his own accord. Sorry, actually, didn't he?
Yeah,
he went
Pierre
off
Gasly. He was on great. Pierre Gasly.
Gasly, sorry, that was it. Not Daniel Ricciardo. Sorry, Gasly. So, like, Helmut Marko, like, has a history of being ruthless. Like, if he sees it not happening, it's not happening. They're gone. But with Perez, like, everybody's seen it, not just this season, last season as well, like, wasn't exactly fucking stellar, but this season is an absolute disaster. And they're sticking by him and saying, and then coming out all defensive, like, well, who would you put in his place? Like,
Loads of people.
Anybody. Put Natalie Pinkman in there. Like,
I'll do it. So you've heard it here first. Dave has confirmed Sergio Perez gives good blowies, I think is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Moving on, and Perez looking over his shoulder at Alexander Albon, who was up in P9. Holy shit.
Of course he was.
What a race.
That Williams has fucking... Like, that Williams will be good in Baku as well. Yeah. It has straight line speed. It's pretty shit around the corners, but and it had last season as well. It was really good with straight line speed. Like, was it last season that we had? Was it Liam Lawson who jumped in for a race?
It was Lawson.
It was Lawson, wasn't it? That
After
was in
Ricardo.
Monza. It
was starting Zandvoort, if I'm not mistaken, that weekend.
It was Monza when he got the points and everyone was gushing that he should have a...
Monza was De Vries, was it not?
The freeze, exactly. And then that's thank you, right? Someone knows fucking has a memory. Yeah. So yeah, that car has always, well, for a while, has had that straight line speed, like and so I think yeah, Baku that they're going to be good, as well, like, and I that's what I'm saying. I think 2026 signs going there next year for 2026. I don't think it's as disastrous. I think this could be a little bit of a Hamilton going
Resurgence.
to Mercedes when Mercedes were shit, but just knowing that there was something coming. I have a feeling Williams have an idea they got the power out of that engine unless they fucking change supplier, which is a good chance that might happen as well, which would be disastrous. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I wasn't surprised that Williams getting that top 10 now, I have to say.
Yeah, and a little bit of a shake-up all around where we saw a new Mercedes driver announced. Mr. Antonelli is coming in, and he
Lamps it.
yeah, threw it into a wall. Good thumbs up there.
Thanks, lads. Just straight into the tires.
Oops. Maybe should have held off on announcing that. And as you say, we have Sainz going to Williams. Is there any other big moves? Schumacher snubbed by Viles. Yeah, not nice. And Toto raging at him over it.
What was that? Sorry.
So James Viles said that I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that Schumacher would be just good or something, basically. But he wasn't going to be a great driver. And
did they say that before or after Antonelli put it in the wall?
After.
Interesting.
And then, as you say, Ralph Schumacher coming out and saying, "Well, Schumacher tested in the morning, and he tested in the evening, so there's a difference of like 2 seconds or something ridiculous." So yeah,
I don't think Schumacher got a fair enough shake to grow into it. I think other drivers that have been worse than him have grown into it position more. But I also agree that he shouldn't be getting a drive just on the reputation of Michael Schumacher. Like, but I don't think and that the environment that he was driving in with Haas at the time, I just I don't think he got a fair shake at F1. I think he kind of deserved another one. But I'll be honest, I don't think we'll ever see him back in F1 now. I think he's going to go off to other race series, and that's where his career will be.
Yeah, ice driving up in Sweden.
Yeah.
So yeah, a fairy tale romantic story for Charles Leclerc getting the win in Italy. Is there anything else, Dave, that we need to wrap up on, or will we go to drivers and dicks of the day?
What is there? No, I think we're just talking about our driver of the day, our losers and our dicks. So I'd say, all right, yeah, let's fucking wrap that up. Let's stop our waffling because let me stop my waffling. I think I'm the one that's fucking rambling on. All right, driver of the day. I'm gonna have to go with Charles Leclerc. I mean, he managed the tires. He managed that strategy. Even on the one stop, he could easily have absolutely shredded those tires and it not work. Driver day, Charles Leclerc, hands down.
I didn't see the race, so I'm going to say Charles Leclerc as well, with full confidence that I know what I'm talking about.
Is either who you going with?
Yeah, Leclerc, without doubt.
Yeah.
Good shout.
I'll be honest, for me, loser and dick of the day are quite easily picked here. Loser of the day for me is Lando Norris. And I just follow that up with the dick of the day as well, is Oscar Piastri.
Is he dick of the day, though? I mean,
I have another one for dick of the day.
Go on.
Kevin Magnussen. He was driving like he was having a tractor and just pulling everyone, pushing everyone. That's why I got the penalty, and he got banned from.
Yeah, but I'm kind of thinking like your teammate's going for a fucking World Drivers Championship, like, and you've decided to absolutely fucking send one on him into a fucking chicane.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dick move, it is.
Yeah, and not only just fucking losing him out on second, but backed him right up into the pack behind and put him under pressure right at the start. For me, yeah, he's the dick, and the loser in this is Lando Norris. Like, does anybody think about the children?
No, I agree with you there. I'm with you on that one. I'll double you there, Dave.
Yeah, I'll go with Lando, both loser and dick.
All right. All right, let's wrap it up there and move on with our predictions. I think. Am I getting the order wrong here? That's what we do, isn't it?
No, yeah, predictions are
Yeah,
good.
that's what we do around these parts. Okay. Right. So let's just fucking motor through it. Let's not fucking dilly dally here. There's been enough fucking waffle. So
Yeah, do it.
I went with Lando Norris P1, and that was ultimately not fucking successful. Hang on, sorry, a second. Let me get that up. So that was a goose egg. I went with Piastri P2. That was successful. And I went with Verstappen P3, which was absolutely not successful.
Okay, mine is similar enough. I went Lando P1, nope. Piastri P2, yes. And Russell P3, nope. Not happening.
No. I'd say you were feeling confident, though, when you saw qualifying.
Yeah, I was.
All
I
right.
went with Lando P1, Verstappen P2, and Leclerc P3.
Goose eggs all round. But you had the Ferrari and they had Leclerc in there. The confidence was high.
Yeah.
All right. Flop of the day, I went with. Hang on a second, I'm going to sneeze.
Oh.
Oh, it's passing. All right. The suspense on the flop of the day. I went with Gasly outside the top 10, and he nicely finished 15th for me. So that was nice.
Good man, Pierre. I went with Sergio Perez, DNF. Did not happen, but yeah, could have easily, but did
Yeah.
not.
I
And
got
zero.
Alonso outside top 10. And he barely just, yeah, I know.
You're lucky boy.
whistled
K-Mag 10 seconds was just enough.
Is that why you called K-Mag the dick of the day? Because he pushed him outside.
All right, my surprise was, although it shouldn't have been a surprise, Albon inside the top 10, and yeah.
Dave, killing it this week. Killing it.
Yeah.
I went for Stroll inside the top 10, and he could not have fucking done any worse whatsoever.
Nope.
He finished last. What a
He
dick.
did finish last, yeah.
What happened to him?
I mean,
any idea?
We don't have another podcast, do we?
Fucking hell, Stroll, you dick. Anyway, yeah, no points for me there.
And I got Gasly P8.
P8, that was a bold attempt.
He was looking good. He was P12 at the beginning, but things got worse for him after that.
Yeah.
Ocon was doing what, P8, I think, at a certain point for a while.
Look. Let's not listen to everybody's sorrows here. Let's look at how I'm starting to gain on everybody. So the tables. Oh, look at this. So Scotty, even though you didn't see the race and you fucked up, you still managed to hold top spot there, 26 points.
I'm like, Max, my lead is just dropping bit by bit.
Just bit by bit. Isidro's closed the gap a little bit to 23 points, but I am back in this fucking fight. I am a Lando Norris for the driver's title here. I'm on 21 points.
We'll see if you back yourself now. That's the other thing.
What's that?
We'll see if you back yourself now. They have to see if your team backs you.
Yeah, I forgot now. We have to call our predictions for next week.
Yeah.
Or not next week, next race. All right. So Baku, right. I am going to go with Lando P1, Piastri P2, and drum roll, please. I will go. Oh, fuck. Do I go for? Oh, I'm not sure. All right. I'm going to go. Fuck it. I'm going to go. Oh, it's going to be a Ferrari. I'm just not sure which one.
Ooh. Interesting.
I'm going to go with. Oh, fuck it. Someone else go and let me think about this.
No.
No.
You're up first.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm going to go with. Fuck me. I'm going to go with. Fuck it. I'm going to go Leclerc. Fuck it. Yeah. All right. That's it.
Okay.
Locked in.
My P1, P2, P3. I'm going to go Piastri P1. I'm going to go Lando P2. And I'm going to go Verstappen P3. Red Bull are going to figure it out. But I still think Piastri is going to be in dick mode. I don't think he's going to listen to team orders. And that's going to happen again.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going with Piastri P1, Lando P2, and Hamilton P3.
Yeah, that Hamilton did pop into my mind as well. Like, I just... Did you not think, though, just Monza is a good benchmark for Baku, no? Just that's...
well, if Monza is benchmark, I'll go with Ferrari. But I think Ferrari had their moment in Monza.
Yeah, I just think they've they're going to have an overhang of the straight line speed that they had in Monza and carry it over to Baku. So
No, I think they now think they are the strategy gods, and they'll just mess up everything.
Oh, they'll fuck it up. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good shout. All right. My flop will be...
Don't.
Ooh. Oh, well, fuck it.
Don't.
It's going to be Magnussen.
He's
Yeah,
not,
fuck
he's
you
not
all.
racing.
What?
Magnussen is banned from Baku.
Oh, yeah, you can't pick him.
Got the race ban.
He's not racing.
I think it's Oliver Behrman that's going to drive for us for Baku.
And you can't pick him.
Can't pick him.
There's only one, really, lads. Come on.
There's not.
Even at that, I mean, you know, they're good in a straight line, as you say. It's toughy.
I am going to go with Perez DNF.
Oh, that was going to be my one. Okay. I shall change my mind. I am going to go... I'm going to say Albon outside the top 10. Just for
Okay,
shits and giggles.
Isidro.
I'm going to go Albon P9. Oh, sorry.
As a flop.
No. Sorry, it's a flop. No, flop. I'm going to put Sainz DNF.
Ooh, interesting.
All right. My surprise is going to be Albon, and it's going to be top 10. Just going to stick with that.
No, you can't, because he was already in top 10 this week. So you need to pick a position.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone is paying attention.
Yes, well done, Isidro.
Fuck me, you two are screwing me.
You.
All right, I'm going to go... Okay, it's either going to be... Fuck you then, Isidro. P9. Can I do that? Well, no, I can't do that either because he finished P9.
You can't call position.
You got to go outside.
No, if he finished P9, I can't. So I'm going to have to go...
You have to pick outside the top 10.
I'm going to have to go... Fuck it, I'm just going to take a gamble on Alonso. Top 10.
It's hard to know, though, isn't it, really, with him? I'm going to double down. I'm going to say Stroll top 10. I'm going to double down on him.
Well, top 10. And
he's got to come good.
As making the rules up as you go along.
I'm going to go with the Verstappen P4.
What?
Oh, that's on the fucking...
No. He's inside the top 10. You can't pick him. It has to be someone outside the top 10.
No, you can pick positions, but I don't know, like, that one is a bit...
As a surprise? Why would that be a surprise?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a surprise. Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah, we need something. We need... Shock us, Isidro.
Hulkenberg inside top 10.
Hulkenberg. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a surprise, all right.
That's definitely a shock. Hulkenberg. Inside top 10. Right, I'm conscious on our timer, so let's wrap it up for this week, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time for Baku. Yeah, we got it inside the timer. Woohoo!